said, it's quite funny, I said, because my dad was a comedian. I said, but we weren't allowed to laugh at the dinner table, which is quite
No, we weren't!
Don Crockett was a comedian from the 1950s, but he wasn't just a comedian, he was my granddad. He performed in Middlesbrough's Empire Theatre, now a very popular nightclub. His first act wasn't so successful. He was booed off the stage by his own family. As he built up his career, he went on to be a supporting act for the Beatles. As well as the Beatles, he also performed with singer Perry Como, who then became a family friend.
In 3 words. Might sound a bit corny, but just a funny man. Grandad's act was...
Ollie had just had a phone call from a practical joker. He said, it's a long distance from California, and I said, it certainly is.
He worked as a usher, I think that's what you call him, in a cinema. And anyone who came in, if there was a Humphrey Bogart film on or anything like that, he would do the impression for the film. And so he would take the people to the seat and he would be doing the impression of whoever the actor was on the film.
Yeah, but Dad was doing impressions all day long. So you didn't know whether it was Richard Burton or James Stewart.
John Wayne. Jimmy Cagney.
But, yeah, living with Don Crockett was crazy. I think you asked me that before, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
What was it like
to live with
an entertainer? Not normal. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think all these people that he worked with, they all thought that I was his fancy woman.
Really?
Yeah. Especially the Dubliners.
The Dubliners?
The Dubliners, yeah. Yeah, they said,
Who
oh,
was
Don, is this your little woman? And Dad said, no, this is my daughter. And I went, oh, I think you've got yourself a little woman there, haven't you?
Was that your height?
Favourite story? I remember once when we were touring and we lived in Australia, and I remember your granddad saying to me, I've got a really big surprise for you today. We're going to go and meet somebody who you love and you like to watch on films on the TV. Anyway, I went along with him and I was so excited because I thought, who was it going to be? And all of a sudden, coming along the street in Sydney was Norman Wisdom. And I was so excited, but he did seem, he was small anyway, but he seemed so tiny in real life. And I remember he was stood coming towards us and he had this lady on his arm, but she was about 7 foot tall and blonde, and it looked really funny with Norman Wisdom and this lady. Anyway, he came along and he was doing the whole Norman Wisdom joke thing. It was no different to how he is in films and everything. And I was actually taller than him, and I was 9.
In 1973, Don and his family moved to Australia, where he performed all over. He also travelled all over touring in Cape Town, Durban, Johannesburg, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Paris, Vegas, and so many more. When he toured Australia, he performed for the Australian Prime Minister in a variety show.
And Dad would always arrive at a gig at least an hour and a half, 2 hours before he was ever due to even go on stage, to sit down and slowly get ready and build up to that performance.
You did? Yeah.
We lived in a complete fantasy world.
Oh, well, everything was like that. Even when he woke you up, rise and shine and don't be lazy. Tell the world you're feeling blue.
Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah,
wake.
but the mad thing was,
wake up normal.
we were brought up on musicals and things like that. Like I think I was 25 before I realised people didn't naturally break into song in normal life.
When you're smiling,
when you're smiling,
when you're smiling,
when you're smiling,
and the whole world